What's up guys, it's Legend X Rona, and today I have another possible variation video for you guys. In this video I'll be discussing the possible variations that Rain could have if he's DLC in Mortal Kombat X. Now Rain is one of those highly demanded characters that people really want to see in the Kombat Pack 2. He was an NPC in the game where we could fight him in the story mode and also fight him as an invasion boss, but we could not play with him as a character on the roster. Now, you've been paying attention to any of my previous videos, you know that I don't think that Rain will be in the Kombat Pack 2, mainly due to the fact that Ed Boon did say he wouldn't resell any previous DLC, and as we already know, Rain was DLC in Mortal Kombat 9. Now, I don't think that this will completely rule him out from being DLC in Mortal Kombat X, because there's always a possible chance that we could get him as free DLC, but the only way I can think of is possibly like if we get him for free if we pre-order the Kombat Pack 2, and that way we'll be able to play as Rain and have him as free DLC. So there's always a chance he could still be in Mortal Kombat X. So with that being said, here are the possible variations that I believe that Rain could have if he was in Mortal Kombat X. Alright, so these are the variations I was able to come up with. The first variation we have is his Storm Variation, where he gains thundercloud move and additional lightning moves. The second variation is his Hydromancer Variation, where he gains additional water moves and utilizes water swords for additional combos and moves. And in his final variation we have his Demigod Variation, where he gains additional moves and buff abilities. Now for his standard moves, I gave him basically a bunch of his old moves from previous games. We have his water bubble, his lightning move, his super kick, and geyser kick. These are actually moves that he does have in MKX when you fight him. Alright, so let's get started on the first variation. We have the Storm Variation. Alright, so in this variation, Rain gains thundercloud move and additional lightning moves. Maybe for an appearance for this variation, the gems on his outfit in MKX, they'll glow up. Alright, the moves I came up with for this variation, first of all, lightning, his move lightning will become bolt, which will knock the opponent up whenever they're struck with it, and then the EX version of it will stun the opponent. The next move we have is a move I created. He gains thundercloud. This move, he calls forth a cloud that can be placed close, mid, or far. For one use, sends down a bolt of lightning whenever the opponent is standing beneath it. The EX version of it is called Storm Call, where he calls for 3 clouds at once, close, mid, and far. Now this move will cancel though if Rain is hit before it's actually used, and like I said, it can only be used once. For one bolt, then the cloud is gone. Alright, so while he has Thundercloud out, he can use a move called Discharge, where he can disperse the cloud and cause a blast in the vicinity and damaging the opponent on contact. Alright, so the next move I have is Chain Lightning, which is a parry move. Basically when the opponent tries attacking him, he stuns the opponent and then blasts the opponent back with a thrust of lightning. And then for the final move I have for this variation, he gains Flash, where he charges energy in his hand into a burst of lightning, causing a flash, knocking the opponent back, and the EX version of it stuns the opponent. Alright, on to the next variation, we have his Hydromancer Variation. Now in this variation he gains additional water moves and utilizes water swords for additional combos and moves. Maybe for an appearance for this variation, he'll have water around his forearms. The moves I came up with for this variation, like I said, he gains additional combos in this variation. First move we have is Water Blade, where he forms a blade around his arm and slashes the opponent, sending them back. The EX version of it is Aqua Blade, where it's quicker and it deals more damage in its armor. Now to be able to picture this move, basically just go back to Mortal Kombat 9 and that fatality that Rain did have when he was in the game, where he would form a blade on his hand and then basically cut the opponent. Basically that's kind of how this move would look. Alright, on to the next move. We have Blade Wave, where he will send a wave of water out of his blades across the ground, and then the EX version of it is Blade Surge, where it's quicker and it does more damage. The next move we have, he gains Aqua Splash, which is a move he's had in previous games. Basically, he shoots a pressurized stream of water, knocking the opponent back. The EX version of it is Aqua Blast, where he shoots 2 streams, dealing more damage. And then the final move we have is Windy Feet, which is also a move he had previously in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, where he propels himself with water and kicks the opponent back. And then for EX version of it, basically it's just armor and it does more damage. Now, I'm pretty sure they were to put this move in the game again, the animation will look completely different than what it was in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. So that's kind of what I have as an idea for this move. Alright, moving on to the final variation, we have his Demigod Variation. Alright, in this variation he gains additional moves and buff moves. For appearance for this variation, I'll say his mask can be off. On the moves I came up with, alright, so the first move we have his H2O boost move. He had this in NK9, it was one of his new moves. Basically he gains a damage boost but is unable to block. The EX version of it is H2O buff, where he gains larger damage boost and longer duration, but he's still unable to block. This next move I created myself. He gains Water Shower. Basically he drops a heavy blast of rain onto the opponent, knocking them down. The EX version is Water Barrage, where he drops 3 and it's quicker. The next move is his Aqua Splash move. He'll also have that in this variation, just like in this Hydromancer Variation. Like I said, he shoots a pressurized stream of water, knocking the opponent back. In the EX version is Aqua Blast, where he shoots 2 streams, dealing more damage. Also, the next move we have is his Water Port move, which he had in previous games also, and he actually does this during the story when he comes down to fight Kotal and to retrieve Melina. Basically, he submerges himself in a small pool of water and he emerges behind the opponent. EX version is Aqua Port, where he adds the Geyser Kick move after the teleport. Alright, so this final move is Electric Charge. I created this myself. Basically, he strikes himself with lightning, adding a temporary chance to be stunned by the physical damage, kind of like how the modifier is in Mortal Kombat X. And then the EX version is Lightning Rod, where the added stun damage duration is longer and it damages the opponent in the vicinity, basically, when he uses moves. So when the thunder strikes down on him, if the enemy's near him, it will like blast them out and basically send them back. Alright, so an additional move to this move is Electric Field. If he's already charged, he has to be charged first to do this. He sends electricity across the ground, knocking the opponent back, and then the EX version of it, he will stun the opponent. Alright, so these are the variations I came up with for Rain. As I said before, I don't think that he will be in the Kombat Pack 2 due to him already being DLC in MK9. But he could always still be free DLC, like I said. My thing is, if he is free DLC, maybe he could be free DLC if you pre-order the Kombat Pack 2. And I would love to see Rain be playable in MKX because he's actually one of my favorite characters. So what do you guys think? Let me know what your thoughts are about my variations I came up with in the comments below. Also, give me your own ideas if you have anything that's different from mine. I'd love to hear you guys' opinion. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a like. It will really help me out. And if you're new to my channel, please be sure to subscribe. This is Legend X Ronin, and I'll see you guys later. Someone has said to Ed Boon, "You want to talk Kombat Pack 2?" And he replies, "You might be hearing a little something something soon, smiley face." In this next one, someone had said, "When will the Kombat Pack 2 characters be announced?" He tweeted something about it a long time